I can remember when I was breastfeeding my oldest and I was given a nipple shield and I was not given much guidance on how to use it. And then I was told, like, oh, your baby's gaining weight. You can get rid of the shield now. But every time I tried, we had more problems.
Hey, Mama Bear. Welcome to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. Do you dream of bonding with your baby through exclusive breastfeeding, but worry about breastfeeding pain or low milk supply? Maybe you're struggling with breastfeeding and no one seems to have any answers. I'm Jaimie, doula, international board certified lactation consultant, and mom of 5, and I have been where you are. After working through painful latches, milk supply worries, and postpartum depression, and supporting countless mothers through their breastfeeding journeys for over 8 years, I'm here to tell you breastfeeding doesn't have to be perfect to be positive. Each week, I'll share breastfeeding tips to help you prevent and overcome unexpected breastfeeding challenges so you can actually enjoy bonding with your baby. If you are ready to shut out the toxic whispers of the world, embrace your God-given intuition, and release your inner fierce mama bear, grab some coffee or your favorite herbal tea and let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Breastfeeding with Confidence podcast. Can y'all believe it is May already? By the time you're listening to this, my baby number 4 has turned 4, and that is mind-blowing to me because it's just wow. It feels like just yesterday he was born in my bedroom and didn't open his eyes for a full 8 hours. And he was just such an interesting little baby. And now he's such an interesting little boy. And I just can't believe how fast time goes by. But that is all to say that those early days of breastfeeding were difficult with him. And looking back, I am so glad that we fought for it because in those moments, we were in the middle of a cross-country move. The movers actually came when he was just 2 weeks old, I believe, maybe 3 weeks old, and packed our house up the same day he had his tongue tie release. Night of his tongue tie release, he and I slept on the floor of an empty house, and it sucked. Like, that was a rough postpartum, but we fought through breastfeeding challenges and all those extra layers of suck. And it was so worth it. It was so worth it. And if you are struggling with latching right now, you probably have heard a little bit about nipple shields. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I had somebody ask why her baby was spitting up more without the nipple shield. And I can remember when I was breastfeeding my oldest and I was given a nipple shield and I was not given much guidance on how to use it. And then I was told, like, oh, your baby's gaining weight. You can get rid of the shield now. But every time I tried, we had more problems. And it was like 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward. And I just remember how frustrating that was. So I thought this was a really important question to answer. And if you are using a shield right now, I actually put together a full nipple shield guide to help you understand the benefits and risks of using a nipple shield and how to make that transition of weaning off of it a little bit smoother. I'll share more about how you can grab your copy in a little bit. So I have used a nipple shield at some point with most of my kiddos because they have all had tongue ties and we've had latching difficulties with all of them. When I knew what I was dealing with, it was such an easier experience than the very first time. With my first baby, the shield really felt like the most annoying thing that I couldn't wait to ditch. But every time we tried, I felt more and more helpless. Something always went wrong. Either I was in pain again, or suddenly he wouldn't latch anymore, and everything just generally seemed harder. It was really confusing because this thing was supposed to be helping, but nobody gave me any guidance, and then it seemed like I had no way to get rid of it. I was dependent on it, and when you're breastfeeding in public, being dependent on a nipple shield is a pain in the rear. So, as always, I want you to remember that if you are struggling with this, you are not broken. Your baby is not broken. We just need to understand what is going on. So today we're going to talk about why your baby might be spitting up more once you get rid of the shield. There's 2 reasons why this might be happening. Reason number 1 is flow changes. A nipple shield slows down milk flow. Without the nipple shield being there, the milk flow is coming a little faster and baby has to deal with that. If for some reason baby is not equipped to deal with that fast letdown, they experience what we call aerophagia, which is the ingestion of air when they are trying to coordinate their suck, swallow, breathe patterns. And they take in more air, they kind of gulp the air and they get air bubbles in their stomach. This can lead to more spit up. Also, if they are just getting a lot more milk than they're used to getting, that can lead to spit up. So those are kind of 2 in 1 flow changes. But the other thing is latch differences. The shield kind of creates a firm structure for baby to latch onto. It's not as pliable and malleable as the breast and nipple tissue. Without it, your baby might have a more shallow latch. And if they have a more shallow latch, they might be getting more air again. And if there's more air swallowed, that can cause more spit up. Sometimes when babies are doing really well with a nipple shield and then they can't latch without the nipple shield, that's a sign that they have a very high palate. And again, that can lead to just latching dysfunction and discoordination that can lead to more air intake and result in more spit up. There are different techniques for weaning to the shield, but no matter which technique you use, it's really important that your baby has a good latch on the shield too. So a few things that you can do if your baby is struggling with spit up after you've gotten rid of the shield is 1, burp them more often. If you have to burp them mid-feed and after, that's okay. Try using some laid back nursing positions or upright nursing positions. Upright nursing positions can help babies have more coordination, while laid back can help to use gravity to your advantage to slow the flow of milk. And you really need to focus on that latch technique. So a deeper latch means less air swallowed. A more functional latch means more coordination and less air swallowed. This is exactly why I created my nipple shield guide, because there's so much that you need to know about using a nipple shield that no one tells you. Usually it's just the nurses in the hospital kind of hand you the nipple shield, or you desperately are trying to find answers and stumble across nipple shields and grab one from Target. And you don't have all the information, all the benefits when you should use a shield, the risks, the very real risks that come with shields, how to avoid making mistakes with the shields, how to even use the dang thing, and then how to wean off of it. Plus, there's a whole other side to that, and that's that your baby has to have a functional latch. They just absolutely have to, and we have to be practicing these latching skills on the shield in order for them to translate to off the shield. So that's why I created the Nipple Shield Guide and the Fix Your Latch Guide. They go hand in hand. And just for my podcast listeners, you can grab yours today with a 10% off discount using the code podcast10 at checkout. littlebearlactation.com/breastfeeding guides. Breastfeeding is full of challenges, and you should always remember these challenges do not last forever. There are answers, there are solutions, and you are doing such an amazing job. If you have questions that you would like to have featured on the podcast, please make sure to email me at Jaimie Zaki at littlebearlactation.com or DM me on Instagram. And if you haven't grabbed your Fix Your Latch Guide or your Nipple Shield Guide, go ahead and click the link in the show notes, or you can visit littlebearlactation.com/breastfeeding guides. That's BREASTFEEDINGGUIDES. Breastfeeding guides. littlebearlactation.com/breastfeeding guides to grab your Nipple Shield Guide and your Breastfeeding Success Bundle that has the Fix Your Latch Guide, Milk Supply Guide, and Tongue Tie Guide. And don't forget, you can get 10% off with Podcast 10.
All right, Mama Bear, that is a wrap for today. If this episode helped you feel a little more confident or a little more prepared for breastfeeding, can I ask you a quick favor? Go ahead and leave me a review. It helps other moms find this podcast and join us in this amazing community of fierce and confident Mama Bears. And hey, if you know a friend who could use some encouragement or real talk about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and all things motherhood, share this episode with her. You've got this, Mama Bear. Trust your instincts, stay fierce, and I'll catch you in the next episode.